friends. I'm on the beach right now. As you can see, I'm sitting by the shore. And I've been wanting to drop this video for a long time. And this is a video about women who have lost their children, who've had miscarriages, and just for me to share with them. I understand, and yes, they watch you from the other realm. They're with you from the other realm. And just to give a little introduction, why I know this so well, and I know I've shared with some of my videos that I was a barren woman. I couldn't conceive. Well, I shan't say I couldn't conceive. I did conceive, and ironically, the 3 pregnancies that I conceived naturally led to 3 miscarriages. But I was married for 17 years, and within about 8 years of our marriage, I wasn't getting pregnant, and from day one, we were off birth control. I was off birth control and everything. So anyway, we just started fertility. So I was on fertility procedures for 5 years. And I got to share with you, I don't know, in a way I always thought it was mentally, because I thought, I'm Spaniard, Puerto Rican. I thought that this was not natural, that God provides the children, not, science. But my husband, who wanted children so badly, we both did. When we were 29 when we got married on 11/11/1989, but it was 11/11, and it still affects me. It's why I'm making this video, because anyway, I didn't think it was natural, but now, to fast forward, and now that I'm in my 50s, I realize that, and that now I speak spiritual wisdom, and I tap the spiritual realm. I just want all the other women to know that they're here with us, whether you did, conceive all the way and bore a beautiful child that had to leave this world for whatever reason. Just know they are here and sacred to you. And when I was going through my procedures, I had 8 artificial inseminations. It was 5 years of this. 3 different doctors, because my husband was a veterinarian. We ran an animal hospital in Clearwater, Florida, Gulf Bay Animal Hospital. You can Google it if you'd like. And he was a very athletic man, very proud. He was very brilliant. He won many awards. He was awesome man. And he met me when I had my exercise studio. Actually, one of my students was a veterinary technician of his, and said, "Oh, you got to meet this gal." And he'd watch some of my TV shows on the community access channel. But anyway, we fell in love, got married on 11/11/1989 at the Don Cesar on St. Pete Beach. And these are all factual statements. This is not me just, trying to make a client, because I don't even want to have, we'll talk about that, why I have not set myself up for that. But now we're 7 years into our marriage, and I'm not conceiving. Well, I did conceive once, and it was a miscarriage, but now 2 years after that, still nothing. So we go to fertility, 5 years of that. In vitros. I had 2 in vitros, which, and you literally have to give yourself injections. For the women who have gone through this process, you have to give injections of hormones. I had to, and even though I was married to a doctor, he wouldn't do it. And I had to do it all. I'm injecting my butt. It was just, it's not a normal process of everyday living. And, you know, not to talk too much, but it emotionally affected me. And you know what mostly affected me was when people, and especially women, would, you know, approach me and say, do you have children? And then I didn't want to get into it. You know, I would say, no, I don't have children. And they're like, why not? You know, it's like, and some of these women can breed 4, 5, 10 children. Well, you know, gracious be unto thee. But there's some of us who couldn't. And now, I'm being part Puerto Rican. I mean, both my parents were born in Puerto Rico. My mother's side comes from Tenerife, which is the Canary Islands in Spain. But she was born in Puerto Rico. My father's side, my grandmother, the one who gave me my aquamarine ring, the one that I say it has Taino blood, has the dark hair, my father's father, because my maiden name is German, he came to Puerto Rico, but she totally was one that, you know, would embrace me and say, please, don't worry, you will have babies. But again, it didn't happen. And, you know, being Puerto Rican with this Taino blood, and my father's born Puerto Rican, and I should have had like 3.8 children, right? 6.2. I try to make that joke. But it didn't happen. And so, can you see? But anyway, to bring it up to date, I want to embrace the women who have lost children. And also I've had a few female friends who've lost children in tragic ways, you know, that they bore their children. So please, for all of you who have had that, just know that they are there with us. And I pray a lot because I don't understand the universe, and there, I was at a time there very upset with spirit, because I was like, all I wanted to do was have my children and take care of them and love them, you know. And that's why I love the animals, because they were my babies, you know. I think that's why I was so absorbed with my pets, because I didn't have those children. And, you know, it is now at, you know, my 50s, I see women with their children and they have their grandchildren, and, you know, and it's not, I'm not in any way, I embrace it very much, but it's more like, you know, I didn't have that. And in my family, Puerto Rican, you know, it's all about family, and, you know, you just embrace the family. And so I missed out on that, and it has affected me, no doubt about it. But my words to the women who do have children and wonder why others don't judge, because some of us just couldn't. And I don't even judge the women that have 8 kids and are on drugs, but I do hope that they get adopted out to a loving family. And when I got divorced, and honestly, I think the reason why I did get divorced, one was, I've shared this also, he did not respect, you know, spirit in the respect of tarot read, you know, cards, and he was, I forbid you to do that. And, you know, I couldn't live with that. And then I know, because he was such an athletic, outdoorsy man, after divorce, he was more like, he called me one night and said, you know, we were supposed to have kids. I was supposed to be coaching my kids in their preschool. I was supposed to be coaching my kids in high school, you know. So, you know, it's not, I don't know if he was blaming me, but let's just say he wasn't giving me the love, you know. But we're good friends, no doubt about it, you know. We speak every few months, you know, 3 times a year. We try to meet on 11/11, we always try to meet. But for you ladies out there going through procedures of infertility, just keep praying, because see, I didn't pray because I'm being candid. I thought it was not natural, and I thought it was not healthy for me to be doing these things. So I may have sabotaged myself. But then, you know, now that I can look back in my 50s, well, I naturally got pregnant 3 times, and those all went to miscarriage. And I have to give, you know, shine to the fact that I know my babies come to me now more than ever. You know, I'm doing a little sand. See, you put the sand on here, and that's how you. Yeah. It's good for you. But and my babies, I know they come and speak to me now, and so I think that's why, you know, I have this spiritual knowledge, because I had to go through all these hard times and all these, you know, because sometimes it's not that we want to control things, but, you know, isn't that about life? You get married, you have your kids, you know, get your job, you do this. But, you know, there's a life beyond that. And you have to believe that we've lived in other lives, you know, past lives. We have to embrace that. And I believe I do. But I'm making this video especially for the women who cringe and cry because they don't have children. And especially the ones who have lost children via miscarriage, or, you know, especially the ones who bore them and, you know, they pass at a young age, or even, you know, before they do. Just know that it is God's way. There's a purpose, and I believe that. There's a purpose for everything, a reason for everything. There's no coincidences. I totally, now in my 50s, now in my 20s, it was all about coincidence. Oh yeah, that's a coincidence. Oh yeah. But now, Spirit is in charge. God is in charge. The Goddess is within. And mainly what I want to embrace is the Goddess energy. As I sit on this beach right now, you know, and I just, and here, and look, there's a wedding being set up. Can you see that? I don't know, people, if I can, I don't know how to angle the camera yet, but they've got a little chairs and stuff. But there is a reason and a purpose. So please, my lady friends, and I will add that even though my husband was, and I call my husband because I've only had one, and I don't know if I'll ever get married again, but in the respect of, he was my first, I'll always respect him. We had a grand life. We truly did. But for the ladies out there, don't cry too much about not having babies, because I did. And there was a time there that I think I kind of lost my mind a little bit, because it was 5 years of fertility, and I didn't like any of the doctors. They were just, you know, poking you and prodding you. It was crazy. And, oops, I'm just sorry, I'm losing a little cup there. It was crazy. And I thought really, literally, I was losing my life, or losing my mind, because I didn't have the babies that I wanted so much. You know, that I prayed to Jesus, you know, and I waited for a long time to have babies. I mean, you know, actually my husband came to me via a student of mine. So, my friends, just hang in there. For the ladies, you know, and just pray, because I didn't pray. I believe in that. I didn't pray. I thought it was abnormal, and I didn't pray. So pray for your babies. I mean, I prayed for babies, but I didn't want to accept that I was going through these unnatural procedures. And for the women out there that, you know, approach you and say, how many children do you have? You know, don't do that, because some of us couldn't. And And it's nothing that's, wrong with it. It's just the way nature handled it. And just understand that life moves on. And I look forward to being, with a new personality man in my life that has children. I'd love to, be a grandmother to his children. And I'll close it with this. That's why I stay on the YouTube, even with all the BS that goes on there. I really, some of the things I see are so not natural. But it all come out in the wash. But I feel that you all are sort of like my children. And if I can teach you anything, it's to believe in yourselves, follow your heart, don't give up, never give in, and just know that you are on this earth for a reason and a purpose. No matter what that is, but with positive values, just remember that. And inspire as many children as you can, because they become our leaders. And the children you do have, love them, heal them, want them. Because there's women like me who would love to be in your position. Peace out, people. Love your lives. Because some people have it a lot worse than yours, I'm sure. And hug your children tonight.